Round 11 of the 2009 FF1M Championship, coming to you from the German Grand Prix in Hockenheim. Loved by many, Courtney Cass and Joey Mitchell describe it as the race with chaos. Last season saw Fernando Alonso use the straight line advantage to win the race ahead of Giorgio Pantano and Lewis Hamilton. Pastor Maldonado took pole position in that race. He won't have a chance to repeat it this season now, as he's not even racing. 2 and 3 stops are the order of the day. 50-50, so 11 drivers will pick 2 and 11 drivers will pick 3 stops. Should be an interesting race in terms of strategy. Q1 saw AJ and Dodgem fail to make it through, both on the medium tyres. And AJ even running with the KERS not making it through. Once again, FJR flirting with failing to make it to Q2. They just scraped through by only 2 points. As we now look at the starting grid, Rubens Barrichello took an impressive pole position for GRM, half a second quicker than any other driver. That any other driver, joining him on the front row, is Nico Rosberg for Dark Wolf. On the more durable soft tyres, the first one on the mediums is Jenson Button, so expect him to make his way through the field. In fact, all 4 contenders for the championship are right next to each other on the grid. Jenson Button from Timo Glock, Kimi Räikkönen and Lewis Hamilton. 3 of the super soft runners made it into the top 10, Bourdais was 3rd and Webber 9th. The other one down to 16th, which was Liuzzi. And FJR struggling on the medium tyres. Their fastest driver more than 2.5 seconds down. So, 5 lights are on at Hockenheim and 5 lights are out at Hockenheim. That was a good start from Timo Glock by the looks of it, but it's going to be Rubens Barrichello leading into the first corner from Jenson Button. As we head into the long straight, there's a car upside down. It looks like Genet. Let's check again. I remember De La Rosa was flicked out of the race one year for Shake and Bake, and indeed it is Marc Genet as Jenson Button takes the lead into the first corner. Bruno Senna's out of the race as well for Shannon, as this is the second chaos test, and there's contact between a Shake and Bake and Jenson Button. In fact, it's Kimi Räikkönen, sorry. Jenson Button is in fact leading. It was Lewis Hamilton. Or was it? We'll have to check replays of that time. I'm a little bit confused. It was probably Glock, I think. Run wide, and running wide is Sebastian Buemi. And another driver running off the track as well. Now then, Lewis Hamilton right behind Sebastian Vettel. In the track changing colour. I wonder if it's raining already. We're only on lap 1. The skies look to be getting a bit darker. Now Lewis Hamilton's going to have another go into the stadium corner. The long right-hander. Oh, it's quick. And Lewis Hamilton up to 6th position behind his own teammate. But it's a great start from Jenson Button taking the lead, which on the medium tyres is very, very good news for him. And yes, you can see some spray coming out. It is raining quite heavily there. Button sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Barrichello 2nd, Bourdais 3rd. So GRM's running 2nd and 3rd at the moment. But here comes the other front row sitter, Rosberg, challenging up the inside into the first chicane. GRM's have put the KERS back on. And FJR's not got the KERS back yet, even though they have the intention to do so, as they feel that it's made no difference in terms of reliability on or off. But Mark Webber up to 8th place. Master having a look at the other GRM of Liuzzi into the first chicane, punts him off the track, and he's up to 9th place. Meanwhile, some more action. There's a car pulling off. It's Degrassi for Guy Racing. Clearly a mechanical problem. And there was Kimi Räikkönen coming back through the order. Rosberg has got Bourdais 3rd place, and now Timo Glock looks to challenge him round the outside. He's got him already. And now Lewis Hamilton looking to do the same as his German teammate. Let's have a look at the straight line speed of the shake and bake. It's looking good. And into the stadium corner. 5th place for Lewis Hamilton. Now then, Timo Glock has caught up to Nico Rosberg already. As he now looks to make a move. Jenson Button, the fastest man on the track by seemingly a long way. He doubled the gap between himself and Rubens Barrichello. It's now up to 4.8 seconds. The rain shower looks to have died off, and you can see the dry line a bit more visible as Glock pulls out the slipstream of Rosberg. He's got him, turn 1 Hamilton hesitating a bit. He's worried if he made a move. That's very slow. He's got an engine problem. Lewis Hamilton's engine has blown up. I was wondering why he was going so slowly, and Rosberg running a bit wide. But Lewis won't be able to do anything because his engine has exploded. Through goes Rosberg. So we'll be seeing Hamilton retire, I believe, for only the 2nd time this season. One of them was, of course, Monaco. That race was won by Kimi Raikkonen. So that's a bit of a worry for the shake and bake team. Now we have a look. This is the start. On board from Nelson Piquet Jr.'s perspective, Andy Racing made it into a race this time. So a damp track. And Piquet swerving to avoid him, and there was contact between, that's a spun Pedersen. Pedersen had spun and Genet got caught in the accident, as did Bruno Senna. Now on board with Kubica, yeah, can see the flipping Dark Wolf, and oh, Kubica's out! I did not notice that at all. Very clumsy driving from him there. Let's see from Kobayashi's perspective. Zhao got the inside, and Kobayashi gets shunted from the back. Looked like an Andy Racing. Now on board from Kimi Raikkonen's perspective, he had a first lap incident with Glock at the first chicane. Raikkonen getting swamped by Vettel. Vettel made a very good start. Gained 3 positions under braking, but Raikkonen coming back at him almost immediately. Now let's see what happens here. Raikkonen, Glock outbrakes Vettel, outbrakes Raikkonen but runs wide, and then I'm expecting Glock shunted him. Yes, he did. That's old school driving. And as a bonus, we can see it from Glock's perspective. Braked way too late for that corner, and as a result, cut the chicane and drove into Raikkonen. Glock lucky to hold on to that car. And out of the race goes Liuzzi. He's pulling off with a technical problem. Trudging slowly over the grass as Jenson Button sets another new fastest lap. A gearbox problem for the Autodynamics car. Now Timo Glock is right over Barrichello's gearbox. Clear advantage in terms of tyre grip here for the shake and bake. And straight line speed. Up the inside into the 2nd chicane. Glock is up to 2nd place. Back on board with Rubens Barrichello. As we look at Felipe Massa. Kersless, as are the Autodynamic. Oh, the Autodynamics do have KERS. Only Andy Racing and Mitchell do not have the KERS technology available to them. FJR do, but they are not running it this weekend, which is perhaps a mistake. But Felipe Massa up to 7th place, slipstreaming the Australian driver around the outside. So just to clarify, it wasn't in fact raining, it was the track was wet to start with. All drivers seemingly starting on the slick tyres. This is Raikkonen making his way past Pedersen for 12th or 13th place. One of those two. There's yellow flags out here. Mark Webber's out. He's pulling off. The second of the Autodynamics is out. Punctured tyre, but it's still reliability, so the Kurz has caused mayhem in terms of reliability for the Autodynamics car. Kimi Raikkonen making his way up to 9th place past the Mitchell of Jarno Trulli. But Trulli wanting to fight back. Ooh, Raikkonen just about missing the first apex, but manages to get away with it. Now he's going after Adrian Sutil in 8th place. Braking for the second chicane and expecting to catch him really quickly here. Still the clouds linger over Hockenheim. We could see some more rain. Lap 6, it's Jenson Button leading by 8.7 seconds from Timo Glock. Now it's lap 7 as Jenson starts another lap. What's the gap? 9 seconds, so Button pulling away. Got this race under control. Barrichello remaining in 3rd place, 15.3 ahead of Nico Rosberg. So the pole sitter down to 3rd and the man joining him on the front row down to 4th. But you could expect that with them running on these softer tyres, softer, less durable tyres than Jenson Button and Timo Glock. The other GRM of Bourdais in 5th place, Vettel 6th, Massa 7th, and now it's Kimi Raikkonen in 8th place as he overtakes Adrian Sutil into turn 1 on the start of his 7th lap. Cars are very spaced out. Raikkonen's 38 seconds behind the race leader. Of course, Raikkonen was involved in that first corner shunt, or the first chicane shunt, with Timo Glock. Into the pits comes Adrian Zaug with an electrical problem. Nothing but a quick pit stop will sort that out, and he'll be on his way. Fairly long stop, 9 seconds, with just a quick change. If he was on a 2-stop, then he'll have to have adjusted his strategy a little bit. Quite gingerly out of the pit lane, the track's still a little bit damp. Back onto the racing line goes Adrian Zaug on his own. He's got some nice clear track ahead of him. Nico Rosberg in 4th place. He's into the pits for a pit stop. This looks scheduled. Let's see how long Rosberg's stop is, and it is 11 seconds. We'll have to see when he comes in again, if he's on a 2 or a 3 stop. But rejoins the track. A little less gingerly than Adrian Zaug. So obviously the track is drying up now, it's clear blue skies. Jarno Trulli pits from 11th place. Into the pits comes the race leader, Jenson Button. Let's see how the current world champion's stop compares to the others. Zaug's was 9 seconds, but his was unscheduled. Rosberg's was 11. Don't know if he's on a 2 or a 3. Could be a 3, I'd imagine. Button's stop is quicker by 0.6 of a second than Rosberg's. So I would expect Jenson in another 2 times. Rejoining the track. He will lose the lead to Glock, but he holds on to 2nd place ahead of Barrichello. That was an impressive first stint from Button. Kimi Raikkonen having a look at Felipe Massa for 6th place. Tornado's absolutely flying on this circuit. That's 6th place for Raikkonen. Next target is Sebastian Vettel for 5th place. And it will cap what has so far been a very, very good fight back from the Finnish driver. He's finished the last 6 races on the podium. It was 2nd place in Spain, followed by a win in Monaco. 2nd in European Grand Prix, a win in Canada, another 2nd in Silverstone and a 3rd in Austria. If he carries on in this rate, it will be 7 podiums in a row, which is quite impressive. Actually the most in a row of any driver currently this season. Now his next target is Sebastian Bourdais in the GRM, and shortly after that it'll be Rubens Barrichello. Raikkonen continues for another lap. Bourdais pits, just saw him diving into the pits then, as does Felipe Massa. So the GRM and the FJR driver both in. Massa started 17th on the grid after another difficult qualifying session for FJR, and chances of a double point score were hit massively thanks to Robert Kubica's retirement on the first lap. As far as I can remember, that's his 2nd first lap incident in a row, his 8th retirement of the season, more than any other driver this season so far. His best result has been 3rd place in Bahrain, and only one other point score, which was the European Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. So it has been a dreadful season for not just for Robert Kubica, but for FJR as well. And they were predicted as a pre-season title favourite, and Jenson Button pulls off the track with a really ill-handling looking car. He's bouncing about all over the place. But either way, he's out of the race. That is a massive shame. He looked favourite for the win. Transmission failure. That's just on the approach to the 3rd chicane. Timo Glock's just made a pit stop and has rejoined right behind Rubens Barrichello. Would expect Glock to power ahead just before the 1st chicane, which is what he is doing now. Kimi Raikkonen pits from 3rd place. As does Sebastian Vettel from 4th place. Rubens Barrichello having a look back at Glock. Look at this. Does he have enough grip on those super soft tyres? Well, sort of, because he's got through. Even if he did run wide, but Glock will have a look back at him. As the pit stops are going on, Nico Rosberg moves up to 3rd place as Glock and Barrichello continue their ferocious battle. Glock moves back ahead into the lead. I'd expect with the extra grip now. He'll pull away. No, he's not. He's just gone off the track. What on earth is he doing? He's just lost the lead again to Barrichello. Won't be able to try and get it back on the next straight at the moment, because he's a little bit too far back. As we look at Vettel looking at Massa all over the place, and they've made contact. Massa will rejoin first. Vettel will be absolutely furious. Massa was weaving about a bit. 14th place, Heikki Kovalainen in the Shannon. Runs off the track at the penultimate corner, bouncing about all over the place in the gravel trap. Rejoins the track safely. So 14th place, still safe for Kovalainen. Now Glock's going to try again, and Rubens Barrichello shutting the door on Timo there, and Glock's going to run wide again. He's going to spin at the first corner. It's turning into a ragged afternoon for the German driver in front of his home crowd. He'll rejoin ahead of Rosberg, but he's got to catch Barrichello all over again. Now then, Nico Rosberg, 25 seconds behind Rubens. And Rosberg's just gone off straight off the track. And he's lost his front wheel. He's out of the race. That moves Raikkonen up to 3rd. So Raikkonen is on course to extend his podium tally. Now let's have a look here. Turns in, well, he's carried too much speed into that corner. He's fighting with the wheel and he's going to shunt the barrier. There you go. That's 3rd place gone. Vettel trying again at Massa for 5th place. Now Vettel on the soft tyres and Massa on the mediums. It's quite impressive from Vettel here to make the soft tyres work. Massa will try and catch up, back up to the back of the G Racing driver. Vettel locking up massively into the Ost curve. He's had to compromise his line. Massa's got a chance to retake the position. I would say the FJR is stronger in a straight line. And that, well, he's Vettel shutting the door a little bit. Massa couldn't quite get through. Barrichello pits from the lead. This will hand it to Glock. Massa's still all over the back of the G Racing driver. Into the stadium complex on the damp part of the track. And Vettel holding on. Sensible driving that from Massa because he was on the damp part of the track. Meanwhile, Kimi Raikkonen is only 13.2 seconds behind Glock. Bourdais 23.1 behind Glock. Barrichello having just made a pit stop in 4th place. There is Rubens in the distance, as Vettel and Massa continue their raging battle for 5th place. Vettel's car moving about a bit in the as the car's speed builds up. Massa looking a bit more stable, so now let's see what Massa can do into this corner here. This is where the two G Racings collided. It was Klein and Kubica at that point. I think Vettel just has enough grip to hold Massa back during the corners. Now then, this is Kovalainen and the Andy Racing of PK Jr. battling out each other. PK swarming about all over the place, and Kovalainen goes for his barrel rolling session. He's lost 3 wheels. Thought PK was going to drive into him again. Kimi Raikkonen in 2nd place. He's going to run over some debris there, and he's lost a tyre as well. That has completely destroyed his car.
Watch out for debris.
Raikkonen's fight back over. And there's more debris on the track. They'd better be careful. Bourdais going really, really slowly, and Barrichello pushes him off. Bourdais got a reliability issue, so that moves Rubens Barrichello back up to 2nd, or up to 2nd, should I say. Vettel and Massa now battling for 3rd place, although Vettel has pulled out a bit of a gap. This is Felipe Massa into the stadium section. Running in 4th place. There is Vettel just ahead of him. Into the pits comes Massa for his 2nd stop. 15 laps to go. So he'll try and use the advantage of new tyres to try and get ahead of Vettel for a podium position as well. Just goes really, really slowly, very gingerly into the pit boxes. All drivers seemingly are doing this. And that is a good stop, 9.2 seconds to get him to the end of the race. Although in the past we have seen drivers making a quick splash and dash before the end. Not sure why, but that is something we have seen before at this very circuit. Rejoining in 4th place, safely ahead of Kamui Kobayashi in 5th. Been a good drive from him in the Pedersen. EK is 6th. Timo Glock makes his final pit stop from the lead as the Pedersen unlaps himself. This will be a shorter stop than Felipe Massa's. Not quite. 2/10 slower, but Glock is miles in the lead. He'll still rejoin ahead in the lead, I think. And indeed he does. So now this is a question of whether Vettel can rejoin ahead of Felipe Massa. In front of his home crowd as well. He's under pressure a little bit. And into the pits comes Vettel. Vettel yet to score a podium this season as of yet. And with Button out of the race, he can move himself ahead of the Brit and the reigning world champion in the championship. So let's see how quickly Guy Racing can do their stops. One of the most experienced teams in the paddock. 9.6. FJR's quicker. Now then, trudging down on the pit lane speed limit is so frustrating, because when you got a driver on new tyres bearing down on you, in fact, there he goes, Felipe Massa, and Vettel just rejoining ahead of him. Some clever defensive driving there from the German, but now Massa is in the slipstream, and these two can continue their ferocious battle for the final podium position. Into the first chicane, Massa has slipstreamed him into third place. Vettel will not give up though, he's still in the slipstream. Kobayashi makes a pit stop from 5th place. Vettel back in the slipstream. And he's up the inside into the Ost curve. Quick flick of the right, and Vettel has got it back. 3rd place for Sebastian. So seemingly after one Sebastian retired with a mechanical problem, another Sebastian will make it into the podium. And we might have another Sebastian in the points in the form of Buemi in 7th place, sorry. Nelson Piquet makes a pit stop from 8th. And Vettel looks as if he has got the legs on Massa. So the new tyres didn't work, then it did work, then it didn't work for Massa. Piquet's pit stop moves Adrian Zaug up into the points. Zaug has made 2 pit stops as well. I suspect we'll be watching this battle a little bit more, because Massa is still close behind the Guy Racing. Massa has scored a podium, and that was at the Canadian Grand Prix. He also has 2 4th places at Monaco and Silverstone, and a 6th place in Spain. This is the battle for 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship as well. If it stays as it is, then Guy Racing will leapfrog FJR for 3rd. And meanwhile, Timo Glock, all out on his own in front, sets the fastest lap. Rubens Barrichello in 2nd place has yet to make his 2nd stop. It'll be interesting to see how much these super softs wear out, because if they wear out too much, then there may be a chance that Vettel and Massa can catch up to the Brazilian of Barrichello. But Vettel has got the other Brazilian of Massa to deal with at the moment. Massa looked very close into the 3rd chicane, the Senna chicane. And we have Sebastian Buemi out of the race, as the other Sebastian looks to lose a position to Massa into the stadium complex. Massa takes 3rd. I suspect Vettel will not give up though. Vettel is a world champion, so he does know about not giving up. As Buemi's retirement moves Piquet into the points, back into the points, I should say. We were expecting many drivers to make 3 stops, but certainly looking at the top 8, that hasn't been the case so far. On board with Sebastian Vettel. And we got some yellow flags. Rubens Barrichello! That is awful luck. His gearbox has gone. Yellow flags all over the place. And Massa making another pit stop with 8 laps to go, so it didn't seem to be anything wrong from the steering wheel. So are we seeing the late splash and dash that we've been talking about? This will move Vettel up into 2nd place, so we will have Sebastian on the podium at the end of the day. 9.7 for Massa. That's actually longer than his stop that he made only a few laps ago. Jarno Trulli's moved up to 7th place. He has made 3 stops. So Timo Glock at the Oscar. It's been a ragged drive from him after struggling to get past Barrichello. But once he did get past, well, he's been out on his own. Stayed out of the dreaded reliability cave so far. As he rounds off the third chicane. Just coming up to lap Massa for third place. So everyone behind Massa is a lap down. So that's 4th place Kobayashi, 5th place Zaug, PK 6th, Trulli 7th, and there out of the race is Barrichello, but will he hold on to that 8th place? So Hockenheim delivers its race of attrition. There goes Massa in 3rd place, a lap down, but it's going to be Timo Glock who leads home Germany and shake and bake for this 2nd win of the season, 2nd after Malaysia. It's a German 1-2 with Glock and Vettel making up the 1st and 2nd places. Felipe Massa takes 3rd, well needed points for FJR, but they do lose 3rd in the Constructors' Championship to Guy Racing. Pedersen 4 and 5 with Kobayashi and Zaug, some very, very useful points for them. PK, a controlling drive from him in 6th place. So Lewis Hamilton now only 20 points ahead of Glock thanks to that retirement. Kimi Raikkonen remains in 3rd place, but it could have been a little bit closer to Glock. Vettel moves up to 4th in the championship, just ahead of Button, and Massa gets a little bit closer to the Brit. And Barrichello not allowed that point because he wasn't classified. But GRM do remain ahead of Mitchell in 7th place in the Constructors. Pedersen edged closer to FJR for 4th place. They have overtaken AJ. So we'll see you at the next race in Hungary.